Michael, just back to the weekend, Swansea, I mean, it wasn't, again, a live long in the memory for its quality, but you won, and that's all you can do to keep on winning and see where it takes you.
Yeah, definitely. I think you go through the season and sometimes you play really well, sometimes you don't play so good, and other times it can be kind of efficient, if you like, and effective. Saturday was certainly that. It was effective. I thought the boys done a lot of things good in the game. Yeah, I thought it wasn't the most exciting and flamboyant of performances, but I thought we'd done a lot of good in the game in terms of defending as a team well, and still looked dangerous and took the opportunity. So it was, all in all, it was an efficient performance.
Another home win as well, and another clean sheet. I mean, the home form hasn't been the best, as we've discussed many times this season, but another win there, and keeping them out at the other end with a very makeshift defence as well.
Yeah, it was a good balance, and it was just one of those games, Swansea are a team that keep possession, like to have possession, work hard at keeping the ball off you, and I thought we understood and managed that pretty well, and defended well when we had to. Johnny again done very well playing centre half, and as well as everybody else. So yeah, all in all, pretty pleased.
And it keeps it going, which is what everybody wants.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
So you know, next I want to talk a bit in terms of the pressure, or not, as the case may be. I mean, because the expectation is that it's a really tall order. It's going to take a lot for it to happen to get into the top six. Does that take any pressure off you and your players at all?
No pressure on us, and not at all. No pressure. It's just about going out there and trying to play well. I think really, it's everything ahead of us that we're trying to achieve, and we'll give it our best shot. That's it. Give it everything we've got and see where it takes us. We are coming from behind. We know that. Certainly no pressure from us. The boys aren't feeling any pressure. They're looking forward to the game, and as I said, we give it our best shot.
Just from the weekend, obviously you didn't bring Hayden Hackney on and Rav Vandenberg. How important was it for them? They were on the bench, and it's good to see them back, but they didn't have to be pressed into action, just to give them a bit more time.
Yeah, we got to be patient. I think because they weren't ready to play. They were just in and around the group. Again, having so many subs now and to choose from, I think it's getting the boys in and around the group again is important. So yeah, we'll obviously make a call on who's ready and when, but we definitely won't have to be able to rush anything. Not at this stage with younger players. And
you kind of don't have to, do you? Because obviously you're in the midst of this brilliant run.
Yeah, well, listen, we'd love to have everyone back. We'd love to have everyone to choose from. I think the boys who were playing have played particularly well, and made some changes at times, but the boys have done well recently, especially, and trying to carry that on as well as we can. We know the challenges ahead. We're playing a very good team, a very dangerous team, and we know that the challenge that we face going there. But of course, we're positive. We're going there looking forward to the game.
Matt Clark's been nominated for the PFA Fans Player of the Month. I mean, I know you spoke at length when he did return, but he seems to really relish playing as part of the formation that you're currently employing. And again, he's come back from horrific injury and is really playing well at the moment.
Yeah, we've played this formation for an awful long time, to be honest. So it's not any different now to what we've done since I came to the club. He settled in well, Clarky, to that. As soon as he come back fit, he settled in well, because he obviously missed a lot in terms of training with us for being here such a long time before that. But yeah, it's not fair to him to keep going back to that in terms of injury. He's played fantastically well. He's been consistent. He's done very well. So it's probably fitting that he's up for that award, and hopefully there's a few more clean sheets yet.
And Emmanuel Latelat, I mean, he's had periods out injured, as have most of your players this season. I mean, you kind of think what might have been. He's done brilliantly so far in terms of his goal return, obviously in great form at the moment. And if you'd have had him for the whole season, who knows where both the team and he might be.
Yeah, ifs and buts, that's football. I think you got to take the ups and the downs and accept them. Sometimes it's a bit tougher, sometimes there's injuries, sometimes there's setbacks. I think every team in some ways has got a bit of a tail like that. I do think we've been particularly hard done by at certain points and unfortunate. But Manu's done very well, you know, and I think he was showing that before he got his injury, as I've said many times, and that kind of obviously paused things for him a little bit, but he's came back and to score the amount of goals and be involved in the amount of goals he has done, hopefully is a really good sign for the games coming up.
You just touched upon Hull there before. I mean, there's nothing, literally nothing, between the two teams really going into the game. That puts an extra edge to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's close. Obviously, you know, we're all fighting for the same thing. Not really making too much of that. I think it is what it is, and it's pretty obvious, you know, going into that. But I think we need to focus on what we're good at, what we need to do, how we think we can win the game, and anything outside that at this point is kind of irrelevant. And then we see what the game brings, and then what that means going into the weekend.
And talking of the squad, any updates on injuries, that kind of thing? And just about the fans, you'll have a good following down there. It's a relatively short trip, and you know, they dare to dream. So
they should dream as well, you know. And I've said it many times. I think for us, when you're performing and you've got a job to do in terms of that, I think it's a different mindset to supporters turning up and dreaming and hoping and wishing and having that, you know, that passion and love for the game. The away fans particularly have been outstanding and incredible at times since I've been here, and the way they travel and the amount and the numbers that they travel and the support they give us. So yeah, I'm sure there'll be a lot there and supporting us and be loud, and again something we need to try and give them something to shout about. That's a little bit extra again.
Thank you.
The two teams, as we've said, very, very closely matched, and we've said it here a few times this season. A lot of the thing is teams need to find consistency. How much of a bonus could it be that at this crucial stage you guys actually have found some consistency?
Yeah, I just think it shows you that what consistency brings, and it's everybody in the league. It's no secret. Everybody's striving for that level of consistency, and we know we perform near our best, and with that level of, if we keep that level to a point, then we'll have a good chance of winning a lot of games through the season. At times we haven't managed to do that, but it just shows you what consistency does bring, and how it can affect you in the league, and that's shown over the last few weeks. There's still a lot of football to be played. I know the games are getting ticked off, but there's still a lot of football to be played, and a lot can happen. So let's just stay in the moment and look forward to this game, and then see what happens after that.
You say there's a lot of games to be played, but when it hits this stage of the season, there's kind of a maths problem to work out as well, of the points you need and the games you've got to get them. Does it change the mindset at all? No,
not at all. It's about one game, you know, and the only way you can ultimately achieve what you want to is win games, pick up points. And at this stage, you know, winning the next one is on our radar. It's not going to be easy. It'll be a tough one, but it's what we're trying to do, and then whatever after that is irrelevant. You know, other teams might do things, might not do things. It's not in our control. So next game, most important thing. All eyes on that.
And it just does seem like a game to relish. I mean, you look at it and it's both teams want the same thing out of it. It's this stage of the season. It's just a great game, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you play all season to put yourself in a position for some sort of success, and what you deem as success. And you know, we've come from behind, as I've already said today, and we are where we are. You know, they're in a very similar position to us, so we know what's at stake. You know, that's not going to affect us going into the game. I think it's about embracing the game, embracing the challenge, know what we're against, and look forward to trying to come out on top.
Thanks. I might just come back at the end and ask you one more, but I'll pass over to these guys now.
How are Josh and Dale and Paddy looking?
Yeah, they're not back training yet.
But we're looking, might not play again this season?
It depends. I think they'll be back before then. They'll be back before the end of the season, but obviously Dale and Josh particularly missed a little bit more than what Paddy has, so we'll see. I'm not saying no to anything at this stage, but the sooner we can have them back and be around the group, definitely the better.
And Alex, I know you mentioned, did you say he was back in training?
Yeah, Alex is back in and around the group now. He's been training maybe a week or so. So again, he's been out for a little bit longer, so but he's definitely around the group.
Just ask about Izzy, obviously turn the clock back a year, what he was going through this time last year. Kind of immense strength of character, really, but that behind him and have the season he's had this season?
Yeah, he's done well, is he? He's had a big impact. You know, he had a little burst where he scored a few goals. He's capable of doing that. He's capable of probably doing that a little bit more. But certainly he's had an impact in a positive way with his performances.
And it probably measured by how much you miss a player when they're not there, and when he had that spell out, he was badly missed, wasn't he?
I think we missed him to a point because he's a good player. I think we've got other players as well who are good players, so I don't think we individually we pin our hopes on anyone. I think we will believe that we've got a squad that we can, and I feel we've had to call on that, and we are where we are at the moment because of the squad, considering what we've gone through. But certainly, you know, individuals bring their certain strengths, and we know what his strength is, and he's played really well for the most part. But I think, you know, we've missed in terms of not being in the starting lineup or not being fit. We've missed a lot of players at certain points, but I think we've kind of adapted and made the most of what we could, really.
You touched on it there, maybe adding a few more goals. Is that the next step for him? More goals, more assists?
It's always the perfect world for any player. It's not particularly just Izzy. It's not a kind of an individual one for Izzy. I think it's just in general. I think we're talking about Manu and his goals and his the return that he's given. I think as a front player, that's they're all striving for that. They all want to score goals. So it's something, yeah, of course we'd love to see more of, but they're doing a lot of good things and keep doing the good things, and hopefully they get the rewards for it.
And just ask about Luke. He's very quickly established himself. Luke Ayling, sorry. He's quickly established himself as a massive player for you, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's done very well. He's settled in. He obviously hadn't played for a little bit before he came, and he brings the personality and the character and the kind of a little bit of scene there. Knows what it takes to have success in this league. So that's an important ingredient really to add to the group. So yeah, he's done very well.
Yeah, and how important is that you're touching it there, kind of the fact he's been there at this stage of the season, when you can't really put your finger on, you said there about no pressure, just what it takes to cope with everything that's on the line. How important is having the likes of Luke, Johnny there in the dressing room?
Yeah, experience is vital when you use it in the right way, in a real positive way, and embrace it, you know, and look forward to. I think these situations you've got to embrace it and don't put anything else on it to what needs added onto it. It is what it is. You play to be involved in games that matter, and this is certainly one that does.
He can't really do much more, can he, at the minute, to earn a permanent deal, Luke?
Nah, there's always things you can do better. There's always things that you're doing well. That's how it is, you know. He's not up for. He's not in the at one stage on the shop window in terms of judging him like that. I think I said it last week. I think all players that are in the group at the moment are our players, whether they're on loan, whether they're not on loan, however length of the contract is, whatever. I think at this moment in time, everyone is our player, and we're definitely making the most of that.
Brilliant.
Spoken about that, Michael, about embracing the challenge, and you know it obviously feels like an important game for what's at stake for both sides. I mean, you played a lot of big games in your playing career. Going into them games, do you kind of use the significance of it to gain an edge, or do you try and kind of just treat it like any other game?
I think there's a natural kind of there's a natural little bit of extra feeling obviously going into it. I think everyone's well aware of what's at stake. I don't think you need to ramp it up any more than it is. I think you just treat it, as I said, for us to have the boys especially, they're going to have to go out there and perform, and they have a job to do, so their heads need to be clear on what that means. And of course there's the extra little bit of emotion and motivation in certain games through a season that comes kind of with a natural flavour and feeling, but and the boys have done well at that, you know, in the games, in certain games that you might see is a little bit different or bigger or whatever. The boys have dealt with that very well, so I'm hoping that'll do similar.
We spoke to Finn's after the Swansea game, and he kind of said that there was more to come from him, which I know a sentiment you said yourself previously. In this kind of little run that he's had in the team now, are you starting to see kind of those connections and things that they need grow and seeing?
Yeah, I think playing games certainly helps. Finn's, he's settled in. I think he's settled in. He's been around the group now for for a couple of 2 or 3 months, and yeah, there's more to come from him. That's not to put an extra expectation. I think he's a player and is a lad that he's desperate to do well, and he wants to do well, and he wants to improve all the time. So it's great to have players that want to do that. But certainly there's more to come. He's still young, you know. And I think he's showed what he's capable of, and looking forward to seeing when bringing out the best in him.
Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot about, you know, connections between players when they first come to the club, learning the team, learning the style, learning the teammates. There's also an element, I guess, as well. I know you do a lot of scouting, so you'll know a lot about the players before they come in, but, you know, teammates as well, learning them and learning their strengths as well, I guess.
Yeah, it's like any environment you're going into, you know, of feeling a sense of belonging, feeling that you're at home, feeling the trust of those around you, and personal relationships as well, you know. So it's a lot more than just the performance on the pitch. Ultimately, it's what we all get judged on, but in terms of putting that into performance and bringing out the best in individuals, it's a lot more than just what you see on the coalface, you know.